I think now we don't really have that kind of backing.
But like the Oklahoma City bombing, man, come on.
It was also well planned, and, they were
Very
going
well planned.
also, this was you gotta think too, if you wanna play conspiracy theorist along with the idea that George Herbert Walker Bush, as a gift for all the things and strings he pulled during his time as head of the CIA, gets his 4 years as president, but then they bring in one of his CIA stooges, Bill Clinton, to run against him in '92, but
I
then
know.
they give
It
it to
was literally
Bill.
CIA versus CIA.
That's what's crazy, and, I recently saw some stuff about Ross Perot, how he dropped out, how he was kicking ass in that election apparently as a third party candidate, so much so he was on the debate stage, and after that debate, they threatened his family's lives, and he dropped out of the race. Yes,
No.
he has gone on record since then and
Mm.
absolutely has stated, "My family's lives were threatened. I had to drop out." There was n and you know who was threatening him, man. Like, come on. You
Oh,
had
the
2
CIA.
It was CIA versus
It was
CIA.
CIA.
Ross Perot, you're odd man out, amigo. Sorry to say, but, like, you're
And obviously the non-CIA guy was winning. Everybody had a weird feeling about the other 2.
exactly. Yes.
Kinda like they were CIA.
Right. Yes, dude.
Isn't that crazy when you really look at that election historically? One of them was there when Kennedy got shot, but doesn't remember.
That's right.
And then the other one allowed the CIA to smuggle drugs in through his state and doesn't remember.
Which meant what dude, yes. Which many say and believe, rightfully so, I think, that kinda kickstarted the whole crack epidemic that swept
No,
through all the major
100%.
cities.
They
Yes,
brought it in
dude.
through his state, and then the CIA just distributed it into poor neighborhoods to get people
Yes.
hooked. It's
Uh,
insane. That it's over and then that
simultaneously well, dude, they
yeah,
flooded crack and then brought in hip hop, gangster rap, and they just completely destabilized the culture of
I
the urban world.
know.
It's crazy.
Took a couple fags from Juilliard, what's his name, Tupac, and, they rebranded him.
Yeah, and P. Diddy, right?
Yeah.
And P. Diddy works for the feds, and you have your honey pot, honey trap, whatever it is, your modern day
Mm,
Playboy mansion. And now we're here, man.
crazy.
It is crazy. But Bill Clinton takes over, CIA guy, and that kind of they many people claim what Clinton did to the feds or maybe allowed to happen there is what paved the way for 9/11.
Mm.
But during Clinton, that's when you had Oklahoma City.
That's what I'm saying, you had all this, like, weird
Maybe that was Oklahoma might have been that first time that Papa Bush behind the scenes with Clinton in charge, like, okay, let's dip our toes into domestic terrorism. They tried it already in 1991 or whatever with the World Trade Center
the first
bombing.
World Trade
Yeah,
Center, yeah.
kind of a bust. So, all right, during Clinton now, CIA still in charge. Let's bring in another homegrown terrorist. We bombed this building, test it out, see how it works. Oklahoma City, who's watching that, right? This is to kind of set the stage for now we're going to do the real deal. Oklahoma might have been the beta test for 9/11.
Coulda been. I don't know, dude, the more you look at it, that explosion from a car
Oh, come on.
knocked
Yeah.
down that whole building.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
yeah, right, dude.